Kenyan economy suffered a great deal due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many people were laid off from their jobs, while businesses took a blow as markets were closed, supplies cut off, and the staying indoors directive affecting customer turnout. You are listening to our special feature on KBC English Service. I'm Purity Nashipai Dilai. The whole experience has, however, made most of us think clearly. Employment cannot be the only source of income we depend on. Therefore, many Kenyans decided to venture into individual businesses for stability. The Association of Startup and SMEs Enablers of Kenya is an association that brings together and represents the interests of organizations supporting development and growth of startups and SMEs. Sote Hub, one of the hubs associated with ASEC, opened a business incubator for graduates, exposing them to mentorship, training, and networking opportunities over a 12-month period. Through this, Sote Hub hopes young entrepreneurs can turn their ideas into viable commercial entities, creating jobs for themselves and others. David Ogiga, the co-founder and executive director of Sote Hub, talks about what they stand for and their involvement with ASEC.
My name is David Ogiga. I'm the co-founder for Sote Hub, which is a business incubator in Taita Taveta. So we work with young people in high school, universities, out-of-school youth, support them in the process of starting and growing a business. The other role is that I'm the chairperson of Association of Country Innovation Hubs, which is a network of 26 hubs located outside Nairobi. Our association creates synergies with the members in order that we can create value and help in the growth of the individual members at the grassroots level. As countrywide, we are partnering with ASEC. Remember, we are at the grassroots level, and so we want to be able to sort of like synergize our efforts. Like if, say, ASEC has some projects that they want to reach at the local level, then we are able to help them in that kind of penetration. They can use our already existing structures. They can use the people, our staff, and the technical teams that specifically, and be able to plug in whatever resources that are available. And that's one. But on the other hand is that countrywide hubs also have some projects that they'll involve ASEC in, because again ASEC have their own networks and connections, both in the market space but also in the development partners. So essentially this is a symbiotic sort of like relation that is meant to benefit all members. Eventually, of course, the bigger picture is how do we continue creating more value to the startups and the innovators in our spaces. We're decentralizing the support environment, because at the local level there's a huge deficiency in terms of services that startups need. They need a space where they can co-create, where they can be able to learn about new opportunities, what's happening out there in the world, and our spaces provide this kind of platforms.
Grace Washori, the community and engagement lead at B-Lab East Africa and the acting secretary of ASEC, tells us more about the association.
My name is Grace Washori. I am the community and engagement lead at B-Lab East Africa, and therefore member of ASEC. I'm acting secretary and the management board at ASEC, Association of Startups and SME Enablers of Kenya. That is ASEC, was started to bring enablers of SMEs together to create an association where any enabler is able to be home. ASEC is here to listen to the enablers' needs, to support them, and to represent them. So if you're an SME out there and you're wondering how do I circumnavigate this business environment, look for a hub that's near you. If it's near you, it's probably associated with ASEC somehow. If it's not, you are welcome also to reach out to ASEC. We have a website, asec.ke. Please log in there and look at the members, look how to contact us, and we can be able to direct you to probably the right hub that's around you. SMEs usually are the direct avenues for impact, right? So they're the ones that are hiring, the ones that are making money aside from government, and it's important that we help them and support them as they need. So I encourage businesses in Kenya, an association like ours will be able to provide whatever resources and connections and networks that may be necessary for businesses to thrive. And and even pivot as they're thinking about strategizing and changing the way they've been doing things, because that's the reality of the times, right? We're not looking at failure right now. We're looking on how to support businesses. So I'd welcome that. B-Lab East Africa is a member of ASEC. We are an organization that helps businesses to structure their businesses so that they're able to have positive social and environmental impact every day on how they do their business. Basically saying that there's a better way of doing business. You don't have to only think about organization, you can also think about purpose. And when you're sharing that profit, social and environmental, we urge you to think not just about the shareholders, but the stakeholders as well. The community from where they source from and hire from, the customers that they sell to, the interaction in the environment, and how they govern themselves. We believe that one day Africa will say that we're doing business differently, and to get there we need each other. Not one organization can get there, so we encourage businesses to do that. B-Lab is also the company that's behind the B Corp certification. A company that's B Corp certified is a company that has the highest standards of social and environmental performance, public transparency, and legal accountability. So basically saying, not just saying, but you have been proved by a third party, you have been verified by a third party, and you've come outstanding that you're having social impact. We also help organizations figure out how they're doing in attaining the SDGs. And so I'll call them to just get, if you Google B-Lab, B for boy, lab short for laboratory, B-Lab East Africa, you'll be able to find us. Our office is in Westlands, Nairobi, and we'll be able to support you as you wish.
COVID-19 affected all the activities of all organizations and businesses. ASEC was no exception. Grace talks about the new measures they had to adopt to cope with the situation.
Since COVID happened, it threw us in a disarray. We have companies here in Kenya, and they're across the country as well, and we have countries across Africa. So because we could no longer meet physically, we had to shift everything to the virtual platform, which actually became a blessing in disguise, because now we are able to do so much more with fewer resources. The attendance of our webinars and our events has also gone up, because as much as they are busy, they are able to plan, because you don't need to travel. You just need to log on a link, and that has given up. The uptake has been really good, and what has happened with that, we've been able to indulge our communities better. We've been able to hear their needs better. We've been able to form relationships that is paramount, and networking to be there for them, where they know there's a door open, they can express themselves and express the needs that they have. They can also use the networks that are within the communities to sell their products and services. And because of going virtually, actually, that has really opened those doors, and we have seen more uptake and more acceptance within our communities. As an association, we have seen that some hubs are struggling to stay afloat. As it was said during the conference, the financial models that are sustainable have been a challenge for hubs, and trying to figure out how we can be able to support them by simulation, finding funding that will be able to help them. At B-Lab, what we found, a lot of our community members who are B Corps, they have had to either reduce work from home and let the offices go. They've had to lay off people and reduce the capacity that they have. They've had to decrease their prices. B Corps are basically, like I said, companies that are very geared towards having high positive social and environmental impact. So anything that will be the detriment of that, they really try not to. So they'd rather cut the salaries than let people go. They'd rather work from home and let the office go, so that there's more money to go around and help the businesses.
If you have an idea or a business that is not yet registered with any association, it is wise to register with ASEC. It is better to work with someone than working alone. Stay tuned. I'm Purity Nashipai Ndilai.